Hey, check it out. Have y'all seen that new show on Netflix called Painkiller? It's about this drug called Oxycontin that took over the world of illicit drug use and addiction. I mean, it swept across this country. It was rough. But it made me think of my old buddy Clay. He was a quadriplegic just back in the late 90s, early 2000s, closer to the late 90s. Kind of hard to remember because I was an addict myself. I wasn't on Oxycontin, but I was on other things. And Clay wasn't really an addict as much. He just liked to party, and he was a quadriplegic, you know. So, I mean, why wouldn't he get to party? He couldn't do anything else. But he used to tell me stories, man. He'd say, man, I see all those deadbolts on that door. And I was like, yeah, man. He's like, man, you got to lock this thing up tight. He said, because the other night I was sitting here, he said, man, these dope heads came over here and just chopped the tires on my daggone wheelchair. Had a motorized wheelchair. And they just tossed the place with him sitting there looking for a stash of Oxycontin. He had his Oxycontin, you know, because he had some bad pain issues. Something had to do with nerve endings or something. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, he had a script for Oxy. And he also had these like morphine lollipops. Dude had some painkiller. Besides being the most dedicated pothead I ever met in my whole life. I mean, imagine trying to roll a joint or something. You couldn't even use his hands. But just imagine something that make people do stuff so cruel as just sit there and take advantage of a person that can't even move, you know, because your addiction's so strong to something. People are terrible, man. Terrible. I mean, they knocked him over one night, literally knocked him over, like come over there and flipped his chair over. And Clay had a gift. This man could lace curse words together in a way that nobody I'd ever seen could do. And I mean, he could send you to therapy cussing you. It was really a gift. He was rolling up on my porch one night. I bet in the world's cheapest wheelchair ramp. He went up this thing, and I didn't realize the bottom side of it was just rattled with termite. Of course, he gets halfway up it, and that eggum thing cracked and fell over, and he fell out in the yard. And that he commenced to cuss, and that had to have been the hardest minute and a half of verbal abuse I'd ever taken in my whole life. I would have given up the truth if it had just made him stop. Oh, Clay, he was something else, man. If you didn't meet him, And he passed away in 2006. Bed sores got him. Sad deal. Rest in peace, Clay.